we are going to distribute the 2. So therefore, it's 2 times log base 9 of x. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 8 times log base 9 of y minus, write your y properly, minus 2 times log base 9 of 729 plus 12 times log base 9 of a. Pero can we still simplify this further? Yes. Ang log base 9 of 729, that's equivalent to 3. Diba? Remember, 9 cubed is 729. And 9 cubed, diba? Remember, this is the one. Log base 9 of 729. Doing that will give you 3. So therefore, we have negative 2 times 3. So therefore, rewriting this again, we have 2 times the log base 9 of x plus 8 times the log base 9 of y minus 6. Diba? Remember, because log base 9 of 729 is 3. And then multiplied it by negative 2, that's negative 6. Plus 12 times the log base 9 of a. That's it. Pero to make it more neat, we put the negative 6 outside. So therefore, it's negative 6 plus 2 times log of y plus 8 times log base 9 of y plus tama, 12 times log base 9 of a. Correct. And that one's already your final answer. Another way in how we can do this is that you can also distribute the exponent to all the factors right away. And if you do that, let's see if we'll still get the same answer. So, diba remember ito yung ginawa namin. So, there we have log base 9 of x squared, diba? And then we have log base 9 of y raised to the 8, diba? And then we have log base 9 of 729 squared minus log base 9 of a raised to the negative 12. Then, ang gagawin na namin, we have to let the exponent slide. So, therefore, it's 2 times log base 9 of x plus 8 times log base 9 of y minus 2 times log base 9 of 729 minus negative 12 times, or you can just exchange that to plus, times the log base 9 of a. And do you think we will still get the same answer, Dean? Yes. To double check, this one, it matches. Log 2 times log base 9 of y of x, that checks, evens. Tapos, 8 log base times log base 9 of y, correct. And then 12 log base 9 of a, correct din. And then we can simplify this. Log base 9 of 709 becomes 3. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6. So tama, this checks. Kaya nga, that's why nga you can do this in 2 ways. Either you can distribute the 2 and the exponent to all the factors there, or you can just set that aside first and then distribute that before you're finished. Okay? So yun yung number 8. Next, let's go to number 9. In number 9, what do we do here? Ayan, same process ang tayo sa number 9. This one, our goal is to expand the logarithm. Pero, di ba remember, this is a bit of a twist. Because we have log base 2 of 4 square root of 4ac times d raised to the 7th power divided by h raised to the negative cube times I raised to the 5th power times j raised to the negative 10. All of this is being raised by the 5th power. So, let's try the rule that I told you kanina. The one you want to always iiwan namin yung exponent. So, this is what you're going to do. Wait lang ha. Okay, back to work. Now, di ba remember sabi ko dito, our goal is to do this. Di ba remember sabi ko, what is the exponent? Negative 5. So, negative 5, iiwan na namin. Pero don't worry, that guy can still come back. Because just what I said, we're going to distribute that later on. So, iiwan na namin ang negative 5. So, we're gonna let the negative 5 go away first. Pero don't worry, I'll still come back that for you. And then we have log base 2 of 4ac. Diba? Pero what you want is, I know naman they're all written in square root. So therefore, diba, remember, when you see something like this, it's all in group. So therefore, we're going to group that. You can rewrite the log base 2 of 4ac, the square root of 4ac, into, diba, remember, that becomes, diba, remember, ito yun. Let's work this out. Ang 4ac na nasa square root, this can be written as, diba, remember, translating this to exponential equation, it's 4 times a times c. Diba? And then, diba, remember, square root can be translated into the 1/2 power. So therefore, yung 1/2, i-distribute na namin. So therefore, it's 4 raised to the 1/2 power times a raised to the 1/2 power plus c raised to the 1/2 power. So tama. So therefore, this is exactly how you're gonna do this, okay? And then, diba, remember, log base 2 of d raised to the 7 minus log base 2 of h raised to the -3 minus, diba, remember, nasa baba. Kasi nga, diba, remember, kung nasa denominator, ibig sabihin nasa baba. I raised to the 5th power. So minus log base 2 of I raised to the 5th. And then minus log base 2 of j raised to the -10. Diba? Now, this is what we're gonna do. Diba, remember, sabi ko sa'yo, this is what we're gonna do here. Let me rewrite this again. Diba, remember, sabi dito sa 4ac na yan, that can still be written as 4 raised to the 1/2 power. Diba? So therefore, this is going to be -5 times log base 2 of 4 raised to the 1/2 power. Diba? Or which you can just rewrite it as square root. And then plus log base 2 of a raised to the 1/2 power. Yan, di ba? You can also rewrite it that way. Di ba, remember, sabi ko sa'yo, you can distribute that. That's how you can expand it. Kasi di ba, remember, yung 4ac na nasa square root, you know these numbers can be multiplied together. And this implies the power law, the product law. Although, it's all written in the square root, so therefore, you're gonna have to group that. And it's all being raised to the 1/2 power. All these factors of 4ac are being raised to the 1/2 power. So yan. And then the 1/2 is being distributed so that we can expand the law. And then we have log of 1/2, log base 2 of c raised to the 1/2 power, plus log base 2 of d raised to the 7. Pero is there something downstairs? Yes, and that's log base 2 of h raised to the -cube minus log base 2 of I raised to the 5th minus log base 2 of j raised to the -10. I think because of that, I have to rewrite this again. So let's rewrite this one more time. This time, may space na dito. So yan, di ba? 4 and 1/2. 4 raised to the 1/2 power. Plus this one. Plus this one din. Copy everything. And be sure pala, whatever you do, you also double check din on your work. Because you may never know talaga that you might also miscatch any of the information. So that, especially of course, if you have so many negatives there, which can baffle you. Kaya always double check on your work. Okay? So yan. And then, di ba, remember, you see all the exponents that you see up there. What do we do? Power law. So we're gonna have to distribute that. So therefore, it's going to be written as -5 times 1/2 log base 2 of 4 plus 1/2 log base 2 of a plus 1/2 of log base 2 of c, and then 3 plus 3 times the log base 2 of d minus, diba, remember, we have minus -3 times the log base 2 of h. Pero that becomes positive na lang. Diba, remember, because there are two negatives, that automatically becomes positive. And then minus log base 2 of I raised to the 5th power. The 5 slides down. So therefore, it's going to be minus 5 times the log base 2 of I. And then -10, slide it down. That'll become minus -10 times the log base 2 of j. Pero this one becomes positive. Yan. And are we done? Wait, we're still not yet done. Remember the -5 that we had left out a while ago? Par, naiyak na yan. Nahugot na yan. Namiss mo ba ako? Oh, maghugot lines na tayo. Well, yes. Diba remember sabi ko, we still have this negative 5 being left over. So what we do now? I-distribute. Correct. Now all we have to do is to distribute the negative 5 to all the factors. So that will become 5 times the negative 1 half. 5 times 1 half becomes negative 5 halves log base 2 of 4. Diba? Plus negative 5 halves, or you can just do minus 5 halves na lang. Huwag na lang negative part direct. So negative 5 halves minus 5 halves log base 2 of A minus 5 halves log base 2 of C. Diba? And then negative 5 times 3 minus 15. Negative, diba? Log base 2 of D. And then plus, that becomes negative. Negative 15 log base 2 of H. Diba? And then negative 5 times negative 5 becomes positive 25. Log base 2 of I. And then negative times positive minus 50. Minus 50 log base 2 of J. And that's our final answer. Anything else we need to simplify? Yeah. The log base 2 of 4. The log base 2 of 4 can be simplified to 2. 2, diba? And therefore, negative 5 halves divided by 2, that's still negative 5. So therefore, rewriting this one more time, diba, remember this becomes 2, diba? Dalawa na yan. And diba, this one, the 2's cancel, so that's why you're just left with negative 5. So therefore, the correct answer to write in expanded form is negative 5 minus 5 halves log base 2 of A minus 5 halves log base 2 of C minus 15 log base 2 of D. Then copy everything. Be sure that you don't make a mistake. Otherwise, if you make a mistake, wala ka na. Especially, of course, when you're solving complex algebraic expressions like this. Okay? So, yan. And that's your final answer. Phew! That was a lot of hard work talaga expanding that log, ha? Pero this naman, we did it. Okay? Now, if I were to try the other way, pwede pa rin. We can also distribute the negative 5 into everything. You can also do that if you like, para mas maging madali. Teka, that's 3 raised to the 7 pala, not 3. That's supposed to be 7 pala. Double check ko, ha? Diba, remember that's 3 raised to the 7, so dapat it should be 7. Tapos, being multiplied, that's supposed to be negative 21. Tama nga, that's negative 21. So therefore, if I were to distribute, it will go like this. This will be negative 5, 4, negative 5. So that's 4 raised to the 1, negative 4 raised to the negative 5th power. And that'll be, ano yun? 4 raised to the negative 5th power. Everything is being raised to the 5th power. Negative 5th power. So yan. So kaya nga, if you were to expand this, it will go like this. Log base 2 of 4AC raised to the negative 1 half, that becomes 5 halves. And then, di ba remember, D raised to the negative 35. Then divide by, ano yun? 5 raised to the negative 3, that's H raised to the, ano yun? 15 power. Di ba? And then I, 25. Tapos, ito pala dapat positive. So, always double check, ha? Kasi, di ba, remember, that's supposed to be, ano yun, negative. So, negative 5 times negative. So, dapat, that's supposed to be positive. Okay? Positive 50. And that's supposed to be negative 50. So, that's supposed to be positive 50. Yan. And then to expand this, di ba remember, you have log base 2. And then, di ba remember, we have negative 5 halves, log base 2 of 4. Tama, we simplify to this one, to 2. And that becomes negative 5. And then log base, and then 5 times negative 5 halves, log base 2 of A. Yan, so tama, we still get the same answer din. Because this one's being distributed and this simplifies to negative 5. And then negative 5 times the log base 2 of A minus 5 halves times the log base 2 of C. Tama. Correct. Minus 35. Diba that's 35? So 35 pala yun. 35 pala yun, sorry. Kaya always remember to double check ha. Because you're being multiplying that by 5. So that was supposed to be 35. 35 times log base 2 of D. Minus 35 times log base 2 of D. Minus yan kasi nga may negative. And then this one, di ba remember, h raised to the 15th power, di ba remember that is downstairs. So therefore negative. Tapos, I raised to the negative 25, pero nasa baba, i-reverse mo lang. So maging positive. And then yung j raised to the negative 50th power, being raised to the 50th power, pero positive, that's negative. So tama nga, that's the correct answer. Either way, you still get the right answer din. Correct. Now, let's work on our very last problem. Here we go, moment of truth. Okay, for the last problem, how is this log meant to be written? Is this in expanded form or is this in simplified form? Correct, this is in expanded form. Because, remember, we see there are more than 1 logs there. So therefore, we need to condense it. So how do we condense the logs? Ganito kasi yun. First, let's look at this. We have negative 1, 6 times the log base 4 of 7 minus everything minus negative log base 4 of 2 plus log base 4 of B plus 1/3 times the log base 4 of 64 minus log base 4 of D minus 3 times the log base 4 of 1,048,576. Whoa! Ang hirap! Pero di bali kung mahirap. You know why? God is with us and He will help us solve this problem. So now let's go back to simplifying logs. So di ba remember what we do first? First, we need to condense, we need to distribute everything, whatever needs to be distributed. Para hindi tayo mahirapan. Okay? So therefore, di ba remember this is number 10, di ba? Let me write this for you. Let me rewrite this para hindi kayo mahirapan. So di ba remember you have negative 1, 6 log base 4 of 7. Di ba? And then minus, di ba remember we have to distribute the minus, di ba? I-distribute na namin. Let me copy.